long ago, we could say once upon a time, we studied mythical, folkloric characters. This was because we needed to model ourselves on the Earth's principles. That is, the characteristics of air, earth, fire and water, or spring, summer, autumn and winter. In earlier times, humans followed that kind of pattern that the earth inspired. These are the folklore characters that we have loved in the past, but they are still there. They are still with us. I believe they have embedded themselves in our psyche, and today we are reproducing them, perhaps in slightly different ways to how we might have done, but they are still there. And this video is to try and introduce you as part of an education to which character you might relate to. We are fallen from an angel. We are native to the sky. When we're reaching puberty particularly, we end up with quite a challenge on our hands because we are travelling through an important phase from childhood to adulthood. And many of the tales represent this transformation. So I'd like to illustrate, if I can, what these folktale characters would have meant and what they can still mean now, because it really is important that we understand that they're not just for little children, they're not just for the nursery, if you like. By degrees they evolved into what we have today with Disney pictures. So these were the role models we had. These characters were the foundation when we were trying to change and grow and become a person that could possibly grow into maturity and become an elder, so they could then pass all their knowledge on to the ones coming after them. It's necessary to understand that many of these folk tales were driven by the need to mature. Snow White is probably one of the youngest folktale characters that we can have embedded within us. She really represents a small young child. She's rather like a toddler running off and not knowing what they're getting involved with. And so she has to learn to move on and to become an older child. And there are many people who have Snow White within them. We need her. We need her to show us how to grow into somebody who's older. If we compare compare Snow White to Cinderella, we have a bit of a contrast forming. Cinderella represents somebody who is at puberty. Now we know that we're talking about females here, and I'll go on to males in a moment, but what we are seeing when we come across Cinderella is someone who has suddenly become aware of the world. She suddenly knows that there's something good out there that she can get her hands on. And so she represents this quite incredible contrast between wanting what is on offer, wanting to go all the way with that, with glamour and fun and excitement and romance and anything that she perceives can give back to her in a positive way. That is contrasted with perhaps guilt, perhaps hurt, perhaps grief. There are all kinds of things in Cinderella. She's consigned to the kitchen, and she's the lowest of the low, and then she's the highest of the high when she goes to the ball and becomes a queen for just a night. So we can see elements of mood swings. We can see elements of, if you stretch it all the way as far as you want to go, bipolar. You can see elements of borderline personality. You can see so many elements of conflict going on within one person. Now that is very, very different from Snow White. She likes wandering in the forest to her grandma's home. How she loves this sleepy forest even though alone. Oh, she won't be lonely one day. She will find a new friend. So, if we once again move on, we can arrive at Red Riding Hood. Now, Red Riding Hood is a step on, not only from Snow White, but she's a step on from Cinderella. She is somebody who doesn't mind walking into disaster in some ways, in the sense that she hasn't had somebody pulling her back. She's got a mother and a grandmother who really are concerned with themselves. They might say, be careful when you go into the wood, but they don't say, don't go into the wood, because what it turns out is that their needs are perhaps even greater than hers, to be liked, to be loved. So they, particularly the grandmother, ends up putting herself before her granddaughter, and that is why she allows the wolf to enter her dwelling and enter her soul and take her over. She's got that same desire to find a male figure who is going to take control. And there's a need for that, because usually a Red Riding Hood character has an absence of a father figure in their lives. And so a Red Riding Hood figure will be the one who takes over the father figure. They absorb the father figure, or what they perceive to be the father figure, except it always isn't the proper father figure, because they haven't had anything to mould that idea on. Hence, they long for some male influence to take control. So the wolf, who is a complete narcissist, can step in and can take over if she is not careful. And that brings us to that boundary, that borderline, where we can see the fight taking place between Red Riding Hood and a man. There's a fight going on. She has within herself a lot of power, Red Riding Hood, a lot of power. She believes she's in control, and she feigns innocence quite a lot. It's all because she hasn't had the love and the care that she needs. I've the kindest heart, a mind that's big and smart, all the better to love her with. I'm one like the sun, the moon and I are one, all the better to hug her with. I've the biggest smile, I do it all in style, all the better to worship her with. I'm the best she'll find, a treasure warm and kind, all the better to kiss her with. Take care, he's a big bad one. Who's afraid of the big bad one? These three folktale characters have not had parental love, they've not had parental guidance. If that continues, then the three of them will never grow up. It's remarkable what's contained within all of these stories. It's just a fairy tale, just a fairy tale, ah, just a fairy tale, just a fairy tale.